More Northwest. Hey, this is the second video of a four-part video series as we talk about hiring a new staff person. Last week, Keith and I were with you. We kind of talked about a why, and the main reason is we need some more time so that we can do a better job of discipling people. I'm going to give you another why today. Dave Kinnaman wrote a book called You Lost Me, Why Young Christians Are Leaving the Church. I just want to kind of talk through that for a moment, but the premise of the book is basically this. The main reason young people drop out of church or fall away is insufficient discipleship. And that's why we see disciple making as such an important area, especially for students, junior, senior high, and young adults. And one of the things they found out is that as students and young adults start leaving the church, they find that like 10% are resilient disciples, meaning they attend at least monthly, they engage in more than just attending worship on Sunday morning. And then they call, the next group is the 38%, which is habitual church goers. They've been in the last month, but they don't engage in anything outside of worship service. And then the 30% is unchurched. Of course, those are Christians that have not attended or been involved in church in the last 6 months. And then 22% are ex-Christians. They grew up in the church, but they don't identify as Christians at all, so they just kind of walk away. One of the reasons we see this as so important is we want to engage that age group, students, junior, senior high, and young adults, because we want to raise that percentage of resilient disciples. We don't want it to be 10% at Northwest. We'd like to see it be 100%, which is probably unrealistic, but we know that we can raise that if we have the right staff person that kind of comes in. So here's our solution to this. Our solution, of course, is to get a new staff person that has a primary responsibility of ministering to students and young adults. And when we talk about these responsibilities, this is primarily what we're looking for in this person that would come in. This person would be able to cast a vision for student ministry that's in line with our vision and values at Northwest. This person would be able to lead students and young adults to be more like Jesus in every area of their life. That's the disciple-making part. That's how we define disciple-making at Northwest. This responsibility would be to lead, train, and recruit volunteers to help in the student ministry. This person would also be able to help integrate students into a service at Northwest in some way. So they're not just going to worship, but they're actually being involved in areas outside of worship as well, which is part of that resilient disciple making that Kinnaman talks about. This person would also plan and assist in taking students to maybe conferences or short-term missions trips to help in that process of disciple making. This person would help integrate worship into the student ministry, and they would encourage students and young adults into the life of the church, connecting them with worship, service, outreach, and that type of fellowship. So that's the type of person that we're looking for to come in and be a part of this team that Keith and I talked about last week, to free us up to have that time to be discipling families, helping parents be able to disciple their kids, being able to disciple adults, and just creating that DNA of discipleship at Northwest. So we're clearly defining what we need and why we need it. We really want to see students and young adults reach that level of resilient discipleship. And in order to do so, the leaders at Northwest, we've prayed through this, and we'll talk about this in a future video as to how we got to this. But we've prayed about this, and we see that the best way to create resilient disciples in student ministry and young adults is to hire a full-time person that's going to be able to help with that process. Hey, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope these videos are informative for you. And like I said last week, you may have some questions, just jot them down. But as you watch through the 4 videos that come up, we may answer those questions in the process. I'd also like to thank Crimson Cup for letting us be able to sit up here and drink a cup of coffee and just kind of chat with you this morning. Hey, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week.